Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Curiosity Rocks, and I only just came up with thinking yes I could do that in a video because I was looking for my login for Pottermore because it's been quite a while since I last played Pottermore, but I can't find a login, so I'm thinking of making a new registration for Pottermore because I want to do the sorting quiz for the Ilvermorny house and for Hogwarts, so I want to do the sorting quiz. See, that's what I've been looking for, but I came across this, which is the notebook that I wrote in while I was attempting NanoWrimo. Now I think this is possibly 2011 or 2012, but it is the same, I think it's the same time that I started doing my blog, so I don't remember that when that was either. So, but this is like a diary I kept when I was attempting NanoWrimo, and I thought there's a few insights about my autistic experience in it, and I thought we'd have a look and see what past me was writing about. Now, I don't actually know how long I have actually been on antidepressants, so I don't know if this book is before my complete emotional mental breakdown or after my complete emotional mental breakdown. So I can't quite tell you whether it's antidepressant me or pre-antidepressant me, because I can't remember. So I'm going to read aloud here what I've wrote, and it doesn't go on very long because I only got as far as this in the book, but it was like meant to be a diary to supplement what I was writing about. So, excuse my extra skin, but who cares? So, spoilers. A month in the life of a neurodiverse mind, a NanoWrimo production. November 1st. Hello people in the future, reading this on your screens, or you standing in this wonderful bookshop, upholding the grand tradition of printed words on paper. I know you just had a good long sniff of new book aroma. Gives such a lovely hit of literary pleasure, doesn't it? Insert smiley face here. Maybe Stephen Fry's dulcet tones are that's very ambitious. Maybe Stephen Fry's dulcet tones are transporting my words to your ear canal at this very moment. Say hi, Stephen. I don't know why I thought Stephen Fry would read my book. Anyway, the reason for my title should become clear when I reveal that I am writing this on the fly and aiming to record my thoughts and squeeze as they happen, which therefore means that you, dear reader, are strongly encouraged to skip ahead, criss-cross through my timeline and wield the mightily and often whispered power of spoilers. Yes, past Halland, because that is an original idea and not what all books are anyway. At this point, I invite any prospective time travellers to pop back and visit, but do try to send a note first so I can have the wide selection of value-priced biscuits arranged artfully on a vintagey cake stand. What cheap! God, I was cheap. I was getting value-priced biscuits. Surely I'd want to get Fox's, nice tub of Fox's biscuits, value price, cheapskate. This particular tome you have in your hands, or saying hello to your earwax, Anti-Depressant is to be my minute-by-minute musings. Oh, we have a date, of this, the month of November 2011. I have a spare notebook on standby for the rather pretentious pinstriped man in my head, who has a tendency to get rather floral with his words. I just got back from a wonderful weekend away, filled to the brim with hugs, laughter, and throwing some shapes on the dance floor. Of course, the hotel was another escapade of being a contestant on the Krypton Factor. Ah, hotels, the home away from home, except I don't usually need a degree in fixtures and fittings to be comfortable at home. I was rather impressed by the sheer size of scale of the chandeliers, which seemed to be a glittering overcompensation for the fact that there is a proliferation of hotel rooms with teeny tiny bins. Seriously, why so small? Also, I'm not sure artwork consisting of a mass of placky bag-carrying track-suited football fans and another placky bag-carrying man leaning over in the manner where one expects vomit to soon make an appearance is quite conducive to a romantic hotel rendezvous. What consumed my thoughts mostly whilst relaxing on the very comfortable bed was what on earth the reason would be for wanting to buy the remote control for the bargain price of £60, as detailed in the hotel information folder under the nomenclature of "if you would like to purchase anything from this room." I was surprised to see the bathrobe priced at £95, as I usually expect technology to cost more, though of course the bathrobe is more useful than manipulating a remote control to levitate your cat. Well, it's not going to actually work on anything vaguely beepy, is it? I was watching only Connect earlier, and I'm not sure I would get very far as tackling actually identifying what the hieroglyphics are is taxing enough. I do love a bit of university challenge though, but that isn't on till next week. Of course, you already know how I did. Shh, don't tell me. Spoilers, remember. I forgot to say earlier that, hello, publisher person. I hope my ponderings would make a lovely book, and if I'm sat in front of you looking nervous, just ask me about Doctor Who. That should make me a bit more chatty. Hi, me. Asterisk, waves, asterisk. Stop slouching. Right, well, I need some kip and to rest my hand. Yes, I'm handwriting this. So if you'll excuse me, I'll let you enjoy browsing through my mind, and I shall see you lovely people later. Insert smiley and jokey, winking emoticon here. Half asleep here, just letting David Tennant know. I dreamt about him again. Old Tennant and new Tennant comforting me, but his successor to the throne in the palace of my dream world is Matt Smith. I had a fling with dream world Christopher Eccleston, but that was apparently off-screen, and he must have got the hump, as he doesn't make an appearance now. ZZZ snoring. Hiya. John Stape being interrogated by the 10th Doctor would make an interesting episode of Corrie, and I agree with those lovely people I just met in my dream world, that Corrie should so be set in the universe, which, in my opinion, is why the residents keep making the same mistakes, because the Doc mind wipes them. Then my dream turned rather nasty and found myself in a war training simulation. I have very sensitive hearing, and that interestingly seems to translate into my dreams, as I often cover my ears if I think loud noises are imminent. Hi again, publisher person. You are looking lovely today. Another case for publication is that after a lot of research, it is pretty much concluded by me and family that my mind resides on the autistic spectrum, so should provide many insights to hopefully further the research into understanding autism. Hi again, me. Clicks fingers. Hey, back to the real world, sweetie. You got the in your own world look on your face again. You know, I've always been so envious that TV presenters who are making any kind of show about mind get a go in the brain scanner and explore how their mind works, which is something I would love to discover. This NanoWrimo idea of mine would be much easier if I was an octopus. Back later, hug smiley. Just had a thought that this is like learning to ride a bike. There's the nervousness, then the getting on, and the I'm doing it. Though I wouldn't know that feeling bike-wise, as the first time I got on a bike without stabilisers, it was more whoa splat. I did love my lion ride-on push-along thingy though, when I was ickle. Lions are cool, especially in HD. Ooh, just remembered my jumper dress I've been wearing the whole day has a pocket for my headache stick. I'm not so good at keeping hydrated, so feeling a tad achy. I just elbowed Aristotle in the face whilst opening my curtains. Of course, I said sorry to him immediately. That isn't as weird as it sounds because I have an Aristotle bust on my windowsill. Right, we have some sound effects that are meant to relate to my cat. So we have row, row, row. This is my cat, Jet. Gah, I should have got the notebooks with pen holders. It's choreography corner time with Karen Hardy. My exciting instant of this chapter is a mouse in the house. I'm not sure Jet is really up to the job of managing director of the mouse catching company. Cup of tea and sampling some baklava whilst I get all the gossip from my lovely internet friends. Delish. November 2nd. I often wake up from my dream world feeling anxious and with panicky feelings I can't explain. It takes me a while to drift back into the real world, but the real world is the stressful part, so maybe the anxiety is about facing real world criticism. My dream world is so vivid it can often provide a sanctuary. It's my other life. I think that maybe when they dream they enter our world and dream about really mundane things of going to work and conforming to our grey dull world. Maybe that's a relief for them to get away from the craziness. I feel like I should apologise for sounding pretentious. My initial assessment letter for autism spectrum came through, and I feel sick and burst into tears and don't understand why. I need someone to talk to and get hugs from, but there is such a continuous stream of criticism from my offline world I feel like shit, so I return to my online life. There is a thought in my head that the place is called Dragon, which is way cool, and I now have an exciting instant for my book, so it's a mixture of smiles, sadness and confusion. I am having doubts about this book, but I've gone and told Stephen Fry now, so I guess I've got to do it. I'm feeling calmer now. I usually feel a release of tension when I talk online and able to let it out. It's easier to type it, I guess, as I find it difficult to stay calm and get my point across through speech. I find volume control and controlling the emotion in my voice difficult, judging from the reactions of certain family members. It causes me to become frustrated and angry. It feels like a self-doubt day today, but I'm sort of feeling flat and I'm now craving some chocolate. I'm addicted to Spindle on the iPad. It's a colour matching game in a circular pattern, and the way you turn it is like an old telephone. I want an old style dial turn telephone app, not for calling people, just so I can feel how the dial rotates and hear the noise. Anyway, I like Spindle's noises of metallic clanking bricks and the small explosions when I turn the dial to get the star bricks. I have to make sure I turn the volume down so the explosions aren't too loud. I also love the games Coin Dozer and Cookie Dozer because I like the movements and sounds. Right, chocolate. Oh, this is after I started antidepressants. That's interesting. It's actually time for my daily sertraline antidepressant. I was going to do this regular sound effect routine through the book, inspired by James Joyce, but it slipped my mind yesterday. I tend to be rather forgetful day to day, but I learnt from Sheldon on the Big Bang Theory that I have an eidetic memory. My memory recall plays out in a very similar way to his. I'm no longer a Big Bang Theory fan. I've learnt. My cat acting as a weighted blanket and then going splat when trying to find his feet on the slippy tile floor, and then using a souvenir plastic skull from the weekend to pretend to be the lovely Alice Roberts on The Origins of Us with Dad is quite the cheer up. Smiley face. Over to Dad now for the perfect hotel breakfast. So I actually got my dad to write, because he was having a rant about hotels, and I got him to write out what he would have for a hotel breakfast. So it's now in his writing. So let's see if I can actually read it. 1. Cereals, etc. Muesli, nut varieties, crunchy oat varieties, shredded wheat, fruit and fibre, Rice Krispies, porridge with honey on top, semi-skimmed or full cream milk choice. 2. Yogurts, fruit flavoured and natural, bio, etc. Rhubarb, cherry, apricot and honey. 3. Salamis, 3 or 4 varieties, Gouda cheese, etc. 4. Cooked dishes, Scottish kippers, fried eggs, boiled eggs, bacon grilled, scrambled eggs, flavoured sausages, mushrooms, grilled tomatoes, fried bread, sauces, tomato, brown, mustard, sweet chilli. 5. Breads, etc. Baguettes, to cut yourself, brown sliced wholemeal seeded rye bread. 6. Spreads, jam, marmalade, raspberry, strawberry, cherry, Nutella, honey, butter and low-fat spread. 7. Croissant, plain and almond, chocolate twists, chocopain, raisin whirls, etc. 8. Fruit juice, orange, passion, grapefruit, peach. Coffee, decaffeinated, ground coffee. Tea, Earl Grey, English breakfast, Indian, Ceylon. and then he's wrote something else, but I can't read it. Leaf, no, I'm not sure what that says. And then he's wrote a bit about why this would be a good breakfast. This would be my ideal breakfast choice and is based on a typical Mercure hotel found in France, with possible exception of the kippers. Even the cheaper Ibis hotel will offer something similar, as both belong to the Accor group, and in my experience always beat hands down the choice of breakfast provided by an English 4-star hotel, unless it is a Mercure, which, thank God, we are starting to invade our shores. And then I wrote, please don't sue us, hotels. Apparently it's a typical buffet style. Vacuum flasks with flip-top lids are bad, apparently. Villarreal v Man City now, but sorry, I'm watching Frozen Planet in half an hour. Frozen Planet time. Note to self, don't close the door on my foot. So this is like a running commentary of me watching Frozen Planet. This is beautiful. Ah, wobbly penguins. Squee, it's the criminal penguins bit. So hilarious and cute. Waddle waddle. Cute. Ah, the penguins need duffel coats. Ah, polar bear. Ah, fluffy bums. Wow, polar bear seal hunting. The snow is sparkling. Ah, fluffy seal pup. Seal pup eyebrows are cute. Weird sense of relief when the ice starts flowing. Those ice sheets look like IKEA flat pack components. I can feel the cold on the polar bear cub's paws. I want to put snuggly socks on them. Snuggly shoes on them. Ah, narwhal! Wowzer! Unicorns! That was amazing. Haha, narwhal traffic jam. Perhaps the narwhal horns are for communication, and each narwhal has a different texture like we have names. These creatures are weird. They look like computers processing. Flower dance routine. Whoa, ew, ew, ew. Hairy woolly bear caterpillar, ew. It's now a just as scary moth. Yay, cute fairy creatures and hedwigs. Wow, the Arctic wolves are beautiful. Wow, the albatross chicks look bigger than parents. Penguins again. Macaroni penguins with their Boris Johnson hairstyles. Ah, romantic wandering albatrosses. I love male elephant seal noses. Ah, the seal flippers are so sweet. They are massive compared to the king penguins. The penguins walking home from the elephant seal wrestling. Muddy landing for the albatross attempting to fly. Hee hee, the girls are here for the daily penguins. Naughty's time. Killer whales, eep. The penguins launching out of the sea are an amusing sight. Oh, no one's got stuck. Phew, those killer whales only eat fish. Adelie penguin babies. Wow, billions of penguins. That was a good episode. Whoa, David Beckham is looking sexy in his pale sweater and movie star hairstyle. Very interesting programme about post-war television and radio. I adore BBC4 and it should get excellent funding. I have just discovered the Britain in a Day project on YouTube. From midnight on Friday through to midnight on Saturday 12th November, you can film your day and send it in to be part of a film. I am taking this opportunity. By the way, Man City won 3-0. Yaya Toure scored 2 goals and Balotelli scored 1 goal. I like browsing Wrong Planet and I just noticed a popple in an avatar. I loved popples when I was a kid. I just loved turning them inside out and back again. I also had a Cabbage Patch doll, which I had no motherly feelings about. I had a few pins in my bedroom, which I would push into the doll's dimples and facial indentations, as I liked the sensation of resistance. Nowadays, I love watching videos of earwax being removed online. I have found a cross-section model of an ear, which I want to buy, so I can put blue tack or salt dough down the ear canal and dig it out. And I bought that, the cross-section of an ear, and it turned out to be completely massive and really annoying because I can't get enough blue tack to put down it. I want to get rid of the cross-section model that I have now and swap it for a little one so I can actually do the digging stuff out of the ear thing. Right, back to my writings. When the new kitchen tiles were being pasted onto the walls, matchsticks were put between them to keep them in place until the tile paste dried, and when it had dried a bit, I was allowed to pull out the matchsticks, and I felt the tiles were so relieved to have the niggling match removed. The satisfied feeling works with Lego too, like the Lego bricks have tight hats on and say "ah" when I pull them apart. I very often anthropomorphise objects and infer feelings onto inanimate things. I'm actually sorta missing someone right now who makes me happy to talk to, and when that happens I tend to get stuck online and visit all of my favourite websites until I get too tired to keep awake. November 3rd. Yes, I am paranoid about meat traces on my hands, so I wash them whenever I've held a container that I pour my cat's food with. Gah, this book writing is tricky when I keep losing my pen. David Beckham is the new face of Sainsbury's, something I'm sure will be historically interesting for future generations to read about. There needs to be an invention of a television that serves up your choice of meal when you watch cooking shows. You just press the dinner select button on the remote when your choice is on screen, the TV faxes your food. Ooh, David Tennant voiceover. He has the most adorable voice, and whenever his dulcet tones appear, it's "Stop! Tennant time!" Even a show about bin bags of vomit is watchable if he is narrating it. Nobody wants to encounter a mouldy walnut. Link to a news article of a face on a testicle is rather an amusing incident in a novel. It's got a nose. And Jet has made a den in my slanket and is curled up next to my feet. I love Jet tickles. Big smiley grin. Bin is off is such a delightful turn of phrase. I turned pescatarian a few years ago because of my suspicions of jerking pigs. I watched that. There was a programme on BBC Three and it showed you exactly how they slaughter the animals to turn into food, and they said they gave the pigs electric shock, but when they hung them up they were jerking about all over the place, and it really freaked me out. And then the next day or so, Dad made me a bacon sandwich and it just tasted weird, and that's when I became a pescatarian. But vegetarian ready meals never fill me up properly. Yes, I know I should be learning to cook proper meals, but I am intimidated by boiling water and gas stoves. My dad's sneezes are eardrum-splittingly loud. Ooh, I've just discovered a Grayson Perry episode of Imagine. I adore exploring art and inhaling art and knowledge. At this very moment, Jet is standing on my notebook and has made a few attempts at gripping the pen. Shall have to acquire him some cat-friendly crayons. It seems my pinstriped author has awoken from his slumber. Stephen Fry does look rather similar in appearance to the Mona Lisa. Rather an unfortunate choice of fake moustache on Countdown. November 4th. I just looked out my window to see a man on the street corner holding a child and pointing at the sky, something I immediately found rather sinister, as I have this sort of story in my head of the neighbours being aliens. This is particularly evident at night, as one of the houses has a conservatory strongly lit with blue light. Yeah, I still think some of my neighbours are aliens. I also have this running story that the window across the way contains a man on a spy mission, and the closing of my blinds is some kind of code. I still do think that there is somebody spying on me. New Scientist is here, and it has a story about minds in it. Those are always my favourite issues because of my passion for devouring psychological insights. The surprise gift scheme I signed up to has produced its first offering. Never has a cardboard box been more tantalising. Well, I lie, I've had a few mysterious and thrilling surprise postal delights over the years. Browsing the contents page, it seems to be a very interesting issue of New Scientist this week. I have a puzzle game on the iPad where you have to slide out the brown blocks to release the red block, and the beginner level is frustratingly difficult. Well, I have an idea for my proper fiction novel, which drifted through from my dream. I just need to focus on getting lots down on paper. It feels different to how I am writing this. This is a whole brain experience, whereas the fiction world is the back corner of my right hemisphere, and the words appear in thin air and travel down my right arm. Here's the fireworks. I'm not overly keen on fireworks as they are way too loud. I even twitch and say ow when I just see the colours. The colours seem loud too. I love having notebooks with ribbon bookmarks. It's so satisfyingly useful to flip the book on its end to see how much I've written. My balance is awful. Just tried to put on my slipper with one hand whilst holding my notebooks with the other. My left side promptly launched itself at my wardrobe. I'm sorting out my fantasy football team, and one guy has scored 0 for pretty much 3 weeks, if not the entire season so far. I said he was shit, then did my usual thing of apologising to some higher entity for being mean. I'm getting along on my actual NanoWrimo novel, but it's rather slow and steady. I really hope to complete it, and I want it to be good, not just a mishmash of words. I wait to get the words dictated to me from the people in my head, but I need to knuckle down and hurry them on a little bit. Then, here's my list of who I did for the fantasy football. Originally it was Dominic who got me into doing fantasy football, and I'd start and pay attention for the first 2 or 3 months and then completely forget. And I did have a fantasy football team for this past season, but I completely forgot that too. So, right. In goal, Vaughan for Swansea. Defence, Taylor, Swansea. Tierney, Norwich. Macaulay, West Brom. Shotton, Stoke City. Midfield, Nasri, Man City. Nani, Man United. Bale, Tottenham Hotspur. Forward, Dzeko, Man City captain. Rooney, Man United. Aguero, Man City. Subs, Begovic, Stoke City. Ramirez, Chelsea. Ferguson, Newcastle. Monk, Swansea. Yes, readers, you may skip ahead and mock me on my team decisions, but do tell me to look away now when you blurt out the scores. If, however, we have cause to celebrate, then bring cake. Another thing I do is have food items such as chocolate treats in certain numbers at a time, because of certain connotations I have in my mind that relate to paranoia that I'm not good enough. November 5th. The fireworks are banging like a fist, repeatedly punching the sky. I suspect clean sheets guarding the footy squee. I'm trying to buckle down with my novel. There is a cast of characters jostling for position on my right shoulder, and I wait for a voice to talk to me and tell me their story. My Feel Unique beauty box has arrived. I open them on camera so my YouTube viewers can see my genuine excitement. Geez, the sky must have a broken nose by now. I am veering towards needing to wield my earplugs. The silent treatment does not work on me. I don't know what I've done wrong. November 6th. My attention span is all over the place today. I have pretty poor attention, especially when I'm anxious. I have a tendency to get attached to certain people, and when I don't hear from them often enough, I find it difficult to focus on anything for very long before I have to check the internet again. Hence why my novel is a series of vignettes connected by the overall theme of hotel rooms. My word count is shameful, and I know that I could include my writings here, but I want to win properly and not be a rhino rebel. With a diary style like this, I forget what my next bit is about. Right, I need to get tidy looking so I can open my surprise boxes in some videos. I get proud about my art and creative stuff, but there's still part of me that focuses on looking good enough for people who are closest to my heart. November 7th. According to the Beebs website, when I was born, I was there, and I wrote down a very big number. Let me try and read it. 4,459,458,787th person alive on Earth. 79,051,708,004th person to have lived since history began. And this was this thing on the BBC website, and you could find out which number person you were when you were born. And wow, 854 people have appeared on Earth just whilst I browsed the site for a couple of minutes, approx. Frig, just remembered about Uni Challenge. I shall have to catch up on iPlayer. I'm eating cookies and having a cuppa whilst watching Young Apprentice. Yum. I got my videos all filmed yesterday. Jet decided he wanted to join in, so he is looking suitably adorable on them. I really love the editing part. I use Windows Movie Maker, and I just find it really soothing to stick it all together and complete the jigsaw. The support I've got from the people who view my videos has really helped me to accept my perspective on the world, and that my personality shouldn't be hidden away. A good thing that has happened in recent weeks is that my favourite Tesco ready meal, 3 bean enchiladas, is back in stock. And then they took it away again about 2 years ago, and I'm still really mad at Tesco. It's been off the shelf for months, and when I first found it missing from the menu, I was rather perturbed with Tesco. The meal achieves the most delicious texture during the heat process, a nice bit of bite with the succulence of melted cheese. Bliss. So much easier watching fireworks on YouTube, though I still have to make sure the volume's not too high. November 8th. I make lots of vocalisations of wordless noise. It somehow feels like a release and an impulse to get sounds out. I also like to let things take my weight, such as gripping the handles of the cupboard door and leaning back. And when at the pub, I lean forward to rest on the bar and stretch out my body a bit like a cat. I've always had problems with standing still for very long. I invariably have to position my legs so I can lean and rest my weight. I've always had bad posture when sitting. It's hard to sit up straight for very long. I also find it more comfortable to just have cutlery in my right hand and eat one-handed. It's a strain to eat with a knife and fork and quite tiring. I do always try to start with a knife and fork out of politeness, but it soon becomes just a fork or spoon. I watched a programme about lots of wild animals eating a hippo yesterday, and it was fascinating. There was a bit where a hyena was going to pull out a really juicy bit, but it cut to adverts, which was really annoying, because I have this thing, an obsession maybe, to impulsively want to peel things and extract things. I pick at my own skin on my lips, nose and ears. It's the, ooh, got a grip on it, yes, it's peeling off excited feeling. This translates to watching things on screen and feeling it in my mind, which is why I love earwax removal videos, and videos of people removing their corsets, and people removing peel-off face masks. I sort of can feel it on myself whenever there's a household job involving peel or pecking at something. I get all, can I do it, tigger-bouncy. My novel is progressing slowly, though I sort of have doubtful feelings that it's stupid and babyish. But I have found a title and a way to weave my vignettes together. I did write some rather floral stuff when Darren Brown was on the telly. He seems to have some interesting effect on my inner author, and words just keep tumbling out. I should probably have a Darren TV marathon. It's just really hard to pull the words out for concentrating on writing proper literature, but when I'm writing like I am in this diary, it's easy, and when I chat online in forums, it's easy to think of witty comebacks and banter. I'm trying to ban myself from the internet for a bit, so I can get words onto paper and try and barrel through my word count. See you guys later. Smiley hug. I'm thinking of wrapping up my hotel story idea and starting something new. I'm really interested in surrealism and automatic writing, so maybe that approach is better. I feel like I'm just trying to force through ideas, and maybe if I just relax with it a bit, it may come easier, so maybe it shall be Stories from Neurodiversity. Watching Gareth now, he looks gorgeous in denim, huge smiley face. I think I was talking about Gareth Malone then. I'm watching My Transsexual Summer on Channel 4, and it's got me thinking about gender, and I personally feel a mixture of male and female. The majority of the time I feel like a teenage boy, but when I go to conventions I like to dress up and look girly, though I still feel very male. Until I was about 17, I didn't feel strongly about dressing girly on the weekends and holidays from school. I used to collect a particular design of jumper and wear it with jeans. I really valued those jumpers, and maybe sort of pulled the sleeves over my hands and hide within my sort of shell. Once we went to C&A, and I looked in the boys section and fell in love with a Batman t-shirt, which I immediately pleaded for. My inner monologue and my inner self is male, and my favourite furniture in my lounge is towards a more masculine look. I'm really happy to be physically female and wouldn't want to change that. I do wonder if how I feel mentally has had an effect on my fertility by adjusting my hormones. I feel kinda down, and I'm crying and feeling frustrated and angry. Because I make a big deal in my head about silly comments, and then that makes me feel angry and inadequate. I've learnt to hide it and not be impulsive immediately, but then it aches and the feelings have to come out another way. November 9th. Shit day, but frozen planet now, with cute polar bears in the summertime. I'm hungry now, so maybe not a running commentary this week. The polar bear fur looks amazing in HD. November 10th. Fantastic day today. Online party on one of the forums I'm on. Loads of laughs. Working out riddles, got lots of my questions answered, and won a prize. Fabulous. Hungry now. Not had anything but the occasional fun-sized chocolate bar all day. Didn't want to miss the fun. Huge tiggery bouncy smiley face. I like to put either rock salt or loads of ketchup or brown sauce on my food, as it gives it more flavour and doesn't taste so bland, and with certain foods it helps to make the texture right. I don't like mega hot spicy food though. November 11th. Bit of a disturbing nightmare dream, which has upped my anxiety levels a bit. It does take me quite a while to come out of the dream state and start to relax a bit into the real world. I'm sort of worrying about really scary publishers, but if you are reading this, then there's a likelihood it's been published and I've no need to worry. Of course, I've given you, reader, the gift of being my personal fortune teller, whereas I'm just seeing blank pages. That's how all authors work. I'm still trying to complete my fiction novel, which is now more an exercise in automatism. I'm running out of words, however, and I need to swallow a thesaurus. The big, technical and demanding words, which seem like big professors in robes and long white beards, are really difficult to remember, so I'm repeating my words a lot. I went to Tesco and got a really cute snuggly coat in the sale, and also a cardi poncho majiggy, which has a long drapey bit at the back, so I swished about a few times whilst imagining myself as Draco Malfoy. I just need a wand now. If there's one thing that is guaranteed to make me smile and giggle with joy, is a cuddly toy that talks. I used to be in shops and really want to play with the talking toys, but I was always too shy to draw attention to myself. But now I'm confident enough to revel in the giggles, bars. Sorry, that was crap bar. And banter of my cuddly new friends. That brings me to tonight's brilliant discovery of Rastamouse talking teddies. They are so cool, man. That was crap, but that was in my head back then meant to be a Jamaican accent. They are so cool, man. Huge giggly smiley. So my Christmas list now consists of Moshi Monsters talking teddies, Rastamouse talking teddies, and the one with most of my affection, Talking Timmy from Timmy Time, who has the most adorable giggles. For my fiction, I am now using a really cute A4 organiser writing pad and some bright colour pens, and so I have a fresh start to nudge my writing along. I'm finding my inner thesaurus needs more words. I do have ideas for illustrations to go with my writings, and 3 options I could use for publication, so I really want to get at least the 50,000 words. Just remembered I have to check my footy points to see if my team selection was successful. 76 points, my second highest score, I think. Here's who got the points from. Rome in goal, 10. Defence, Tierney, 1. Taylor, 5. Macaulay, 1. Monk, 6. Midfield, Ramirez, 3. Nanny, vice-captain, 7. Bale, 13. Forwards, Rooney, 4. Aguero, 2. Jacko, 24. And he's my captain. Total points so far this season, 503. Yay, fab team, but internationals this weekend, so no Premier League games, so I don't need to do anything to my team right now. Also today, I won a cocktail experience. Yay! Awesome prize. I've never actually used it though, which I'm kind of annoyed about, because I think it was because it involved ringing up somewhere. I just opened my Lego Club magazine that came today, and it has an awesome holographic sticker of Lego man eyes in green helmet visors that switches to a Lego snake, hence more ticker bouncing and me saying Lego man Slytherin in front of the mirror. November 12th. I filmed and submitted my Britain in a Day video. I dressed for the occasion and my favourite shades of pink. I then ate my favourite combination of sandwiches, vegetable crisps and a nice warm cup of soup. Then came the me being glued to the laptop screen watching YouTube videos, because I like the sound of certain voices, which is the criteria for lots of my subscription choices. A nice, soft, gentle voice does things to my earwax I just can't describe. This means I tend to get stuck on watching hours of YouTube until I'm falling asleep in the middle of videos, indicating that it is time to turn off the computer and retreat to bed. Although sometimes I'm so tired it's a slanket on the sofa jobby for a couple of hours so I can muster the energy to actually get to my bed. I found a game for Cats app and showed it to Jet, and he seemed vaguely interested for quite a few minutes, so I shall offer him play opportunities with my iPad. I also found some writing prompt apps, which should hopefully clear my creative block for fiction. It is now Wednesday the 16th, and my fiction has taken off a millionfold. I am trying to cram as many words as possible onto an A4 page. I have achieved over 10,000 words. That year, I don't think I did win NanoWrimo. I did win it in 2012, but again, that was just a stream of consciousness. So that was the main writing. Then I have a couple more university challenge notes that I wrote. Merton v. Balliol, and then the other university challenge was Pembroke Cambridge v. Nottingham, and Pembroke Cambridge scored 280, Nottingham 125, and Dad got 1 question right, Mum got 2 questions right, and I got 8 questions right. So that's what I wrote in 2011. And that was before my official autism diagnosis, because I was going to have an autism diagnosis with the first bloke that we saw, but then he just left and disappeared. So eventually I got my autism diagnosis in 2014. So it took another 2 years, which was crap. So that was my state of mind in 2011. So nowadays I just draw pictures in my Happy Planet now. which I've been doing since the start of July, and I'm really enjoying it. But I kind of like that I have these old writings, so I don't know if I'd do any more writing like that, because I tend to just tell you all stuff on YouTube nowadays instead of writing it down like that. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and it's explained a few more autism things too. So yay, thank you for watching, yay!